Hello, I am finally doing the video on how to do the odds of the factor and solving rational equations. So we're going to go ahead and just get started so we can go through this. I've got dinner to plan and all that, so let's do it. The first three are pretty basic. What you're going to look at is the fact that these are all difference of squares. You might have to factor out a greatest common factor, keep it outside your parentheses, but these should be fairly simple to go through. So, number one, v squared is obviously v times v. 25 is 5 times 5. So this will come in and do, let's see if we'll cooperate. There we go. V minus 5, V plus 5. And that's just simply going to be. Same thing for number 3. It's going to be B plus 2, B minus 2. No fancy work, no nothing. Okay? So, we're going to go through this. And we're going to go to number 5. Excuse my children in the background and excuse my messy handwriting. Number 5. Let's see, is it going to... There we go. Alright, number 5, you have a 4x squared minus 4. Some of you are going to be like, oh, Miss Smith, it's 2x minus 2 times 2x plus 2. That is not the case. You need to divide out a 4. So, this will become 4x squared minus 1. So, it becomes 4x plus 1, x minus 1. And that will be your solution. Okay? You have to take out the 4. 2x squared plus 2 is just not going to be right because it's not technically completely factored. That was a hard one. Number 7. K plus 4, K minus 4. Okay. Now, number 9. Number 9 has a 3m squared minus 75. Now, we obviously know, or I hope you know, that 3 is not a perfect square. So you need to go ahead and see if 3 and 75, if they can divide into each other. Well, 75 is divisible by 3. So we need to GCF the 3, and it will become m squared, if I can do it, minus 25, yep. Close parentheses. Okay. And then we'll take this and we'll do the we'll do difference of squares for 25. There we go. Perfect. And that is our solution for number 9. 3 times n plus 5 times n minus 5. Hopefully you have gotten all these correct. This will be a quiz grade, so there's no reason why you at least cannot get a 50. Alright, number 11. They both share an m, so simply just take it out, and it becomes m times m squared divided by m is m plus 1. And you're done. There's no other things to do. It was not a difference of squares. This is really where after number 10, I started putting in some where you're taking the GCF out or you're just factoring regularly. Okay? So the difference of squares is done. Number 13, you have n squared minus 19 plus 90. You have to do the cross. No. This is not working for me. That's okay. So this becomes 90 on top. If For some reason, my thing won't work. Okay, I think I got it to work. All right. N squared minus 19n plus 90. We're going to do the cross. 90's on top. Okay. Negative 19. Yes, keep your sign because now you'll know what you're looking for. Now, it might be difficult to figure out what two factors of 90 will give you negative 19. So you're going to have to do some guess and check work. So I'm going to go over here and say, okay, what are my factors of 90? Obviously, we have 1 times 90. You have 2 times 45, right? Yeah. You have 3 times 30, okay? And that's where we start getting into some, okay, what really will it be? So my biggest thing is going to be this. We know it can't be in the lower one, so let's look for something that's a little bit larger. What about 9 and 10? Oh, that'll work, but how? How will that work? It will only work if both of those numbers are, yep, you guessed it, negative. So this will factor to n minus 9 times n minus 10. And that's what we'll be looking at. 15. That one should be hopefully a gimme. That should be v plus 6, v plus 1. A lot of you on your test wanted to say 7 and 1. That's not correct. You're always looking at this number, okay? What two factors of 6 will give you 7? 6 plus 1 will give you 7. 6 times 1 will give you 6. So that is correct. All right, as we go forward, negative 9. And what two numbers of negative 9? What two numbers of negative 9 will give you a negative 8? Negative 9, negative 8. Okay? Now, negative 8, negative 9, 1, and 9. Which one's positive? Which one's negative? Negative 9 is negative. Excuse me. 9 is negative because negative 9 plus 1 will give you negative 8. So x plus 1, x minus 9. This one, look, they are all evens, and they also share a k. So you have to factor out a 2k from every single term. K squared plus 6k minus 16. At this point, you should be able to now factor it. What two factors of negative 16 will give you 6? 8 and 2. Which one's negative? That negative 2. How do I know that? This is a positive number, so the negative has to go with the smaller value. So k plus 8, k minus 2. Okay, as we're moving along with the odds, this next one, take a look. We obviously know that they share a what? Well, each one is a 5 or a 0. So let's take a 5 out first and see if there's anything else we can take out. Don't be afraid to do lots of steps. It's okay. You just got to make sure those steps you're doing are correct. 175 divided by 5. Can't do it in my head, you guys. I'm trying to, cook dinner and all that. 35. So that's, oops. But Miss Smith, there's a 3 out front. Yes, there is. Way to go. Whoever caught that as I was doing the video, good job. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So that's out front. So now we definitely have to do our box. 35 times 3 gives you a negative 105. And in the bottom has to be 8. That is hard. It's hard to figure out what do they share. So 105 divided by 5 is 21. 21 minus 5, it's not going to give it to you. It's just not going to happen. So we have to look at something larger. 105 divided by, I would even go with 15. Why did I use 15? Because, I don't know, I just decided that 15 is a factor of 5. Sorry. I had to take care of my daughter. All right. Negative 105 and 8. I just said it was 15. Why did I try 15? It's 5, so it has to have some type of factor of 5 or, a factor of 5. So 15 was the next best one that I could think of. So as a matter of fact, it is. It's 15 and 7. Which one is it going to be? It's going to be a negative 7 right there. So this becomes, am I finished? No. Okay, since we have a leading coefficient greater than 1, we need to come over here and either do the area model or do the bottoms up. You guys do not like doing the bottoms up because you don't know how it works. However, if you know how it works, please by all means use that. But just to get this clarified, here we go. This number right here is going to be a 3v squared. This one right here is going to be a 15v. This will be a negative 7v, and then last but not least will be a negative 35. Now, I had somebody tell me, well, in order to figure out what's on the outside, you figure out what they share. Okay? What do these numbers share? Oh, they share a 3v. So 3v is going to be right here. What do these numbers share? Let me change a different color, and I will show you what I'm talking about. These right here, 3v squared minus 7v. Well, those right there, they share just simply a v. Now, from there, we can go ahead and finish our missing pieces. This becomes a negative 7, and then this one right here becomes a 5. Does everything work? Absolutely. So our answer will be 3v minus 7 times v plus 5. Do not, I repeat, do not lose that 5. Do not lose it. It'll be wrong. I will mark it wrong. Okay? Now, you continue to do those for 23, 25. Let's continue to do that. Do they share for 23? Do they share anything? No. So we will do the cross. What's 5 times 6? 30. Okay? A times C. And then we put our B down there. So, this one, thankfully, is a little bit easier. 30 and 1. We go to our area model. I'm giving myself a little bit more space so that I can write this. 5m squared, 6, and then we fill in with these pieces, 30m and 1m. Again, we go through and we say, okay, what do those share? This shares a 5m. Do these share anything right here? Which one am I talking about? Because you clearly can't see my pen move. Right here. Do they share anything? Oh, they share an m. And that is it. So now we can fill in the rest of the pieces. M times what will give you 1m? Simply 1. And then we come down here. This will be 5m times 6. Does it all work? Yes, it does. So my parentheses, 5m plus 1, m plus 6. It is now completely factored. All right, I'm going to try to do this bottom one without having to scroll down, but I might have to. We shall see. This bottom one, number 25 right here, your box is going to be something crazy. You have to figure out, is there anything that these numbers share? All right? Even it's simply like a 15 or a 3, something to help us kind of get a better idea. We can also see that they share an x. So we are also factoring out an x. So you have to be mindful of that. So since I am doing this with you guys, I'm going to say I see 30, I see 138, I see 144. Really the only thing I can think of is a 6. Why do I say 6? Because I know 144 is 12 times 12. So that is going to have a 6 in it. And then 30 has a 6 in it. And I don't know about 138, so I'm just going to try it. It does have a 6 in it. So I'm going to go ahead and take out a 6x and see what I got. This becomes 5x squared minus 138 divided by 6 is actually 23x. Didn't know that. And then 144 divided by 6 is 24. Oh, wow. Okay. That gives us some nice wiggle room. Now we have to do our cross like we've done up above. This one will be 5 times 24. That's going to be 120. That's a lot, but we can figure it out. It's not unattainable. And this bottom one, I'm going to change colors so that we can kind of veer away from that This bottom one is going to be a negative 23. Again, I don't want to take up too much space. So, 120, 4 and 30, 30 and 4. That came to mind immediately. It's 12. What factors of 12? 4 and 3. It's 0. So add a 0 to either one of them. And that's how I figured out that one. But 4 plus 30 or 30 minus 4, it'll give you 26. So it's not going to work. So let's go up above. It can't go up much more than that. So let's do 120. Again, lo and behold, let's try the 120 divided by 5. That gives me 24. Will that give me a negative 23? No. So the question becomes, got to try another one. 120 divided by 6. That gives me 20 and 6. No. Is 40. And if it's 30, it's 4. Give me a second. Pause. Okay, so I figured it out. It took me a second because I'm a little rusty on these, but that's okay. 120 and negative 23. You're looking at the factors of 15 and 8. Don't be afraid on some of these harder ones to go and kind of look it up and see what the internet can help you with, and then kind of work backwards from there. That's what I just had to do. I know that's sad, but some of these are a little bit more advanced. But they're good to see, okay? So we're looking at 15, a negative 15, believe it or not, and a negative 8. So when we go to do the box, we will have 5x squared here. We will have a positive 24 here. And then we will have negative 15x here and a negative 8x here. So, again, take the GCF out. This shares a 5x. This simply just shares an x. So, 5 times what number will give you negative 15? Well, that gives you a negative 3. And then x times what number will give you negative 8? Well, hopefully you said negative 8. And that, there you go. You have all the factors, okay? So the solution to this problem, I'm going to put above because I don't have space, will be 6x times 5x minus 8 parentheses x minus 3. And that was a hard one. All right, 27, 29. 27, they share an n. Again, take a look. N squared, n cubed, they share an n, ladies and gentlemen. So, do they share anything else? Well, they're both even. They both have, what else? 6. 6 is also a factor. So, 6n can come out, leaving you with 2n squared. Oh, look what happened. Wait, I'm going to continue because I want to see what you guys, I want you to see what I just did. 6n parentheses 2n squared plus 6 divided by 30 is 5n. Look, I didn't finish, you guys. I did not finish my problem. So I need to go do it again. And I'm going to factor out another n. And I should have known better because I should have seen that my lowest coefficient was n squared. So I'm taking an n squared out. But sometimes we can't see it. So we just need to continue with our problem. So I'm going to take another n out. This becomes 2n plus 5. Don't be afraid to make mistakes and continue to go. Like, continue going. You will be able to see it. I promise. 29. We have an m cubed, m squared, and m. So we automatically know, outside my parentheses, I'm going to take an m out. After that, does 4, 15, and 54 share anything? I'm kind of raking my brain, and no. 15 is odd. The only factors of 15 are 5 and 3. 4 is nowhere in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as such. 4m squared minus 15m minus 54. So I'm going to get my handy-dandy calculator and do 4 times 54. 4 times 54. That'll give me a 216. So I'm looking at 216. And since there's a negative there, it's going to be a negative 216 that adds together to become negative 15. Again, another very complicated problem. Not unachievable, but complicated. Since it's such a low number, I am going to try to find the middle ground. I'm going to try to see if I can do something, anything. So the first thing I'm going to do is take 216 and divide it by 2. 2 and 108, that's too big. So I'm going to take 216 again, and let's divide it by 3. That's 72. 216 divided by 4 is 54. We're getting closer. 216 divided by, I'm going to skip 5 because 5 is obviously, you have to have it very particular. That's 36. No, let's try 8. Nope. 216 divided by 9. Ooh, 9 and 24. Will that work? Yeah. All right. 216, 9 and 24. Now, which one's positive? Which one's negative? Whoop, whoop. This negative 24 is. So we get m times. Oh, am I done? No. If hopefully someone's yelling at me saying, do the box, Miss Smith, do the box. Because, yeah, I forgot to do the box. So I'm going to put this in here. Where are we putting in? 4m goes here. 4m squared goes here. 9m here. Negative 24m here. And then last but not least, negative 54. What does it share? It shares a 4m. What does this one share? Just simply an m. This becomes 9, and this one out here to the side becomes a negative 6. You guessed it. So now we have m times 4m plus 9 times m minus 6. And that is our solution. And that will conclude my factoring video.